Hawkesbury Nepean River is a beautiful part of New South Wales with lots of things to do and see. But the Hawkesbury Nepean River has a large floodplain, much of which has been settled. And the river has a long history of flooding, as the following news item from 1986 shows.
As the deluge began to ease, the runoff from the Blue Mountains caused the Hawkesbury River to break its banks, as did the Georges River, flooding vast areas west and south of Sydney. It became a suburban lake with rooftop islands. Hundreds of hectares of market gardens went under. The town of Windsor lay isolated. For farmers, there was only one way to muster stock to higher ground. A flotilla of boats formed the only lifeline.
The worst flood recorded around here occurred in 1867. Have you heard of the 1867 flood?
No.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Well, I believe that there's a mark up here, and it actually was just along underneath the veranda up there. That was about the height of the flood.
I'm standing in the Hawkesbury Museum, which in 1867, when the highest flood came up, which came to this level here, was the Daniel O'Connell Inn. The level of the water, as you can see, I would have been treading water in those days, would have been very, very high, and a colossal volume of water would have come down the river in those days. Windsor itself was just a small island in 1867 in this flood. Obviously interfered with a lot of people's lives and ruined a lot of crops on the other side of the river. From a social point of view, I was here for the 1978 flood and saw what it did to the area here, how much water came down the river, and how it closed off the whole of Windsor. In those days we didn't have any accesses through to Sydney or the mountains, and we had to evacuate a lot of people, which was quite an interesting thing, but a lot of people went in and helped. Whole families moved in and helped families move in with boxes and plastic bags, and we moved them out into places like church buildings and scout halls and things like that.
Unfortunately, severe floods like the 1867 one will occur again, flooding large areas of Richmond, Windsor, Riverstone, Emu Plains and Penrith. Luckily, there are lots of things you can do to help your family prepare for a big flood. The SES has information on preparing for floods and evacuating safely, and they're able to help you prepare for a massive flood. They will help you consider your family's needs before, during and after flooding, and how to get ready to evacuate when a large flood occurs. They can also give you advice on putting together a family emergency kit and preparing your home to reduce flood damage. One question that people often ask when told about the flood threat is, what about Warragamba Dam? Is the dam safer now that the new auxiliary spillway has been built? Yes, it is. In most floods, the dam's main central spillway can easily discharge the floodwaters. But in rare and extreme floods, the volume of water could be too great for this main spillway by itself. The water could overtop the dam and cause the dam wall to break. An auxiliary spillway has been constructed that will make the dam safe from failure in these rare and extreme floods by diverting the floodwaters around the side of the dam into the Warragamba River. Such extreme floods would be much bigger than any seen since European settlement in the Hawkesbury Nepean Valley. The auxiliary spillway can't stop floods from happening, but it will make the dam itself safer. The New South Wales Government and your local councils in the Hawkesbury Nepean Valley are committed to helping you prepare for a large flood. For more information on FloodSafe Hawkesbury Nepean, talk to the SES staff. Ring 1-800-6-FLOOD or visit the FloodSafe website. Better flood safe than sorry.